Thank you for joining us and welcome to our channel. My name is Linda Piri, and I'll be talking to you under the topic Christian Stewardship and Financial Discipline. The title of the day is You Are Not Broke, You Are Just Not a Good Steward. Have you ever said, I'm just broke? That's a question I want us to start with. What if I told you you are not broke? You are just not managing what God has already given to you very well. What if I told you that? This might sound bold, but just stay with me. The issue for many believers is not always lack of income. It's often lack of stewardship. And stewardship is not always about how much you have. It's about how faithful you manage what God has placed in your hands. So today we are diving deep into Christian stewardship and financial discipline, and therefore by the end of this video you will understand the following. Number one, what biblical stewardship really is, or what biblical stewardship really means, why discipline is spiritual, not just financial, how to shift from scarcity thinking to responsibility thinking, the last one, practical steps to become a faithful steward. What is Christian stewardship? In the Bible, a steward is someone who manages something that belongs to someone else. Psalm 24 verse 1 says, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it." That means your life, your job, your money, your gifts, your talent, and even your time. You are just a manager and not an owner. We just need to acknowledge that and respect that. And Jesus teaches clearly in the parable of talents in Matthew 25 verse 14 to 30. A master gives 3 servants different amounts of gold. To one he gives 5, to the other he gives 2, and to the last one he gives 1. And the objective here is to invest and to multiply it. One hides it out of fear, which is a problem with many Christians. Christians are afraid of responsibility. Christians are afraid of money. And therefore they find all the excuses that they can use to hide behind the fear. They will use the verse like 1 Timothy 6, I think it's 16, where it says, "The love of money is the root of all evils." Now people has found an excuse now to hide behind that verse. No, I don't need to have money. I don't need money. Chelete ikaunza mudimu. Hey, imali ngahlukanisa nabantu, imali ngahlukanisa noNkulunkulu, imali ngakushintsha. Which some of these things are true, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the problem is money. The problem is how you understand money. It's not the money itself. It's your understanding of the money. And if you can get your understanding right, if you can get your mind right, you will realize that there's no such thing as money mastering people. You can master the money because you are just a steward of that very same money. Let's continue. In the parable, the master doesn't rebuke one with the least amount. He rebukes the one who did nothing with what he had. The lesson here is, God is not measuring you by how much you have. He's measuring you by what you do with what you have. The bottom line is what you do with what you have, no matter how small, how little it may look. But God measures you by that little that He has entrusted to you. And if you are faithful with that little, then God can trust you with more. So if you can't grow the little, then you expect God to give you more. Those are some of the things that we need to start now dealing with our minds and disciplining our minds where finances are concerned. Now let's go to the hard truth. You are not broke. That's a hard truth. You are not broke. Now let's confront something honestly. Many people say they are broke, but they have multiple streams of subscriptions. They upgrade phones every year. They eat out regularly. They impulse buy online. They waste the little they have and hope they will have more. The issue isn't always income. It's prioritizing and discipline. It is lack of understanding of what money truly is and how it works. Proverbs 21 verse 20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulps theirs down." Notice the contrast. The wise people stores, foolish people consumes everything. A foolish person is never full. Ibayadla abantu abavela bafuthu. Ayasikhuluma iqiniso. Ivila aliminds umosha. Lidle nje, lidle. Asikiyeke lokho. Elithanda izinto ezinhle ivila. Financial maturity can show up as living paycheck to paycheck with no plan, spending emotionally, avoiding budgeting, ignoring savings, and neglecting giving. Stewardship requires intentionality. Another thing about stewardship is that stewardship is a spiritual issue. Money is not just financial, it is spiritual. People always say that. Now, if you read Luke 16 verse 10, Jesus says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." A terrible steward, bafowethu, is one who complains over everything and anything. It doesn't matter ukuthi umnikani or umenzelani, they are always complaining. One who will never see anything good about what they have, because to them it is not sufficient enough to consume. They have every excuse to justify wasteful spending and complaining it was never enough. That's the problem we have with terrible stewards. If you cannot manage 100 rand well, 10,000 won't fix you. It won't. Even if we give you 100,000, it won't fix you, because you don't know stewardship. You don't know how to manage little. More money will only magnify bad character in you, because money has got that capabilities of magnifying the character of a person. And then we start to blame money, that it was money that created this new person that we see, when what money only did was just to magnify what was already there. Until you can deal with yourself. If you lack discipline now, wealth will amplify the lack. If you have discipline now, increase will multiply the impact. Financial discipline is saying no to unnecessary purchases, planning before spending, giving before consuming, saving before upgrading. That's not just financial wisdom. That's spiritual maturity. Why many Christians struggle financially? Here are common reasons. Number one, lack of vision. Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, people perish." If you do not know where you are going financially, you will spend aimlessly. Ask yourself the following questions. What is my 5-year financial goal? Do I want debt freedom? Do I want to be generous? Do I want to invest? Without vision, money leaks. It leaks. Number two, emotional spending. Many people spend to feel better. They do things like stress shopping, celebratory spending, and comparison spending. But money cannot heal insecurities. True security comes from trusting God, not from acquiring things. Number three, no budget. A budget is simply telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. A budget, it's not strict. it is direction. Practical steps to become a better steward. Now let's get practical. Number 1, acknowledge God as owner. Before anything else, change your mindset. That's where everything begins. As a man thinketh, so is he. Just say, Lord, everything I have belongs to you. Teach me to manage it well. Stewardship, guys, starts from the heart. Number 2, start giving consistently. Giving reminds you that money is not your master. It builds trust in God and disciplines you. Just create a simple budget. Divide income into categories like giving, saving, needs, wants, and investments. Even if you earn little, start small. Discipline is built in small habits. It is those small habits that we consistently adopt in our lives, and slowly but surely get better and better and better. Number 4, build an emergency fund. Start with 1 month of expenses. Then work towards 3 to 6 a year, and so on. This reduces panic and prevents that cycle. Number 5, avoid lifestyle inflation. When income increases, don't increase expenses immediately. Increase savings, increase giving, increase investments, and stay disciplined. That's a key. Remember that you are a steward. Now, stewardship brings increase. Look at Joseph in Genesis. He managed Potiphar's house well. He managed prison well. Then he managed a nation. Promotion follows stewardship. God will not pour abundance into hands that leaks. If you want increase, then be faithful with little, be disciplined daily, and be accountable. Wealth in the kingdom is about impact, not impressing people. Then self-reflection questions. Now, let's look at some self-reflection questions that you can think about. Ask yourself these honest questions. Do I track my spending? Do I give consistently? Do I save intentionally? Do I live beyond my means? Am I disciplined or impulsive? This is not about shame. It's about growth. So if you feel that maybe you are not impressed or you are not happy with what you see, the good thing is you can change it. Let's close. I want you to remember that you are not broke. You may need growth. You may need discipline. You may need a plan. But God has already given you something. And if you steward it well, He will multiply it. Remember, faithfulness attracts increase. Discipline creates stability, and stewardship unlocks promotions. If this message blessed you, just like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and comment, I chose stewardship and financial discipline. Let's stop calling ourselves broke. Let's become faithful managers of what God has entrusted to us. And see you in the next video. Stay blessed. Thank you.